Everyone's. I'm driving down I-75 on the interstate. As you all know, I like to make videos while I'm driving sometimes, and that's how I live. That's just how that's how I roll. So that's what I like to do. I just come off of work, just leaving out of Wildwood, and so listen. What I'm trying to call it, well, I ain't calling it, Lord, I said I'm trying to call. But listen, what I'm trying to call to tell you this. Help? No. Okay, you was not on. Okay, but listen. At work, I was standing there at the register, praise God. And I seemed like I felt somebody tap me on the lower parts of my back, up under my rib. Now, I don't have my spinal cord. Under my rib, I felt it tapping, like somebody was trying to get my attention. So I turned around, yes I did, to see who it was. But I didn't see nobody. And when I didn't see nobody, I was turning back around and go to look and see what was going on in front of it, right? Because that's where you got to look. You know, you're not supposed to look back. You're supposed to look to the front, to the heels, to the head, to the front of them, to the front. And so that's why I was turning back to look, because I had to look back. I'm glad I didn't turn into no pillar of salt. But so, as I was turning back around, and this is where it gets interesting. As I was turning back around, I had felt him. Oh, he was on my neck. And I promised God, I would look down like that right now. I looked down and I could see him. It was the biggest roach they ever let out of a zoo. It was bigger than Tonka toys. I didn't know what to do. I was so afraid. And by the looks of when we first met eyes, because he was on my neck, I promise he was on my neck. I felt this breathless breathing down the back of my neck, and I looked. We met eyes, and our eyes locked for that quick second, and I knew he was finna suck my blood because I saw his fangs come out, and so he pulled out his fangs. He was like. He was going to suck my blood. And so I was like, oh, Jesus, Lord, have mercy, God. You know, I was screaming for my life. I was so afraid. And so by this time, he had to hem me up, grab me by the collar, the shirt of the collar. Had me by the shirt of the collar and had me hemmed up in the corner like that. And so I couldn't. It was like I was screaming for my life. I was fighting for my life. I said, I ran for my life. And then he had me held up in the corner, and so finally, I reached up real fast. I had to know I had to be fast because I had to be quick because I saw he was reaching for his gun, and I realized he was trying to rob us. And so I reached up and I swiped him down, bam! And I swiped him off of my neck, and he fell to the ground. And when he fell to the ground, I said, "Oh, ship of Zion!" And when I say, "Oh, ship of Zion," I stopped on him like that right there. And when I stopped on him, I said, "Oh, ship of Zion," like that right there. And then I looked up and saw all the customers in front of the lobby, and I said, "Oh, ship of Zion," like that right there. And so, and I killed the roach. And so, and after that, let me tell you what happened. I went to my manager, and I say, hey, listen, let me tell you something. Now, this roach, this is a true story now. I said, this roach come at me and tried to come in here and pull a gun on me and tried to rob us, and I want to know what you can do about that. And you know, she looked at me in my face and laughed at me. She said, well, what? And went to laughing. I said, this is some kind of playing matter. My life was in jeopardy. You know, my life was in jeopardy. All I do is try to work and survive to stay alive. And these people, to let this thing come in there, the biggest one out the zoo I ever saw in my life. It wasn't even no talking to her. That thing was big as an armadillo. I didn't know what to do when I seen that thing come up on me like that. But you know what? I made it. And that's all I got to say. That's my living. See, let me tell you something. That's my last testimony. It's the last living testimony of the power. Hey, see, y'all playing around with this thing. I want you to get for real. Be so honest, serious, and be sincere with yourself. And thank you And let me tell you something. Hold to his hand. God, I'll change hand. I know this was kind of long, but thank you. Thank you.